come with you with another update of of course, my 40 gallon, well 60 gallon system, 40 gallon breeder, 20 gallon long sump build. But it's also more of a, I've had a lot of people request to do a full and comprehensive tour of all the animals that I have. And so I'm kind of going to be doing that. So what we'll do is we'll start off with, well, this room, which is where the majority of my animals are, and I'll just go through and tell you some things about each one of them, and give you sort of an update on how my tank builds are going. I do have 4 aquariums in the works, and I got various fish, inverts, reptiles, as well as a couple mammals that weren't originally my mammals, but I kind of sort of am stuck taking care of them. So, without further ado, first, this is something you guys will definitely recognize if you follow my channel. This is the old 34 gallon Solana BioCube reef tank that I set up for about half a year now. Now, this isn't my oldest tank by far. I've had several tanks a lot older than this. This currently has the most life. As you can see, I've got several kinds of starfish, including this red African starfish. I got peppermint shrimp, Athenia corals, Hawaiian feather dusters, scarlet skunk shrimp, blue chromis, Banghai cardinals. There's also a fox-faced Tamini tang. There's my Zoa garden. We got several finger leathers, hermits, scooter blennies. Got a lot of life in this tank. And oh yeah, and here's my frog spawn corals, and they're doing remarkably well. If you guys haven't been following, the frog spawn corals, my frog spawn, which used to be all of this, hated that I changed all the current around my tank, and it really pissed off the frog spawn coral to the point that it decided to start shedding its heads. I'm just looking at that starfish. Looks like something's been pecking at it. And so I isolated all the heads, and now they're growing pretty well. And that brings us to the next tank, which is the 40 gallon breeder / 20 gallon sump. I've got some Chaeto in here. I don't have the lights on right now. I try to do the Fujian lights on at a separate time than this light, but I might just start putting them all on the same day cycle because I don't sleep too well like that on them. First fish in here have been in there for, I added 2 blue-green, switched the 2 blue-green chromis out of this tank, put into here, and they're doing phenomenal. They're eating right away. They're swimming, exploring the tank. They got a lot more swimming space in this tank. Hiding on all the corals. They don't care if I get too close to the tank. I also got a couple hermit crabs. I just threw them in there, and they're doing alright. Can't even see one of them right now. Here's one. But got a couple hermits in here. Everything's doing alright. I am going to wait at least 5 days, if not a week. To get everything settled in here, I did dump all of the media from the BioCube down to here, along with that giant rock of biological media, and I dumped a bottle of live nitrifying bacteria into this. So the bacteria should be set, especially because I also have live sand, some live rock. I wanted to not jinx the system whatsoever. I got all my water parameters to match exactly. The only change was a little bit of salinity, which I drip acclimate everything, so it wasn't too big a deal. I think that one is testing like 1.02627, and this is 1.023. I just wanted to lower it down a little bit. Everything's doing alright. And I'm really looking forward to slowly moving everything out of this tank into this tank. I'm going to go in stages with the most sensitive coming last. So the first stage is hermits and the 2 blue-green chromostages. You may be asking, well, why is there only 2 blue-green chromostages and not 3? It's because this little bastard here is impossible to catch. And so he was a thorn in my side. I had to, as you can see, all the live rock has moved around. I had to completely destroy the tank to get the first 2 out. I couldn't even catch that guy. I was just stressing everything out. Now you can see the fox face. He's kind of stressed because I've been poking around the tank. Oh yeah, and there's the little urchin. But everything's doing all right. Next stage will have the leftover hermits, couple snails. Maybe one of the towers. This tower right here, if I move anything else over. Yeah, because that tower has the feather dust, and feather dust is pretty sensitive. So what I would do is I'd move the Zoa colony over. I'm not too worried about those guys. The Zoa colony and possibly this tower, along with the peppermint shrimp for sure, probably the leftover hermit crabs, and maybe the fox face and Tamini Tang. I know if I move the fox face or the Tamini Tang, I'm moving them both. Just because the Tang can have a tendency to get a little bit aggressive. I may leave some of the algae-eating snails, like the urchin stuff, until I get good algae growth going in this tank, just to make sure they have food and everything ahead of time. But that will be, these are my saltwater tanks. Sparkles, who just climbed out of this cabinet from eating all of her food, because she is a little fat pig. Say hi. I have this little 10-gallon desktop aquarium. It's on a dresser. This is not a permanent setup at all. This is, if you guys haven't been following me, I ended up rescuing 2 little turtles from a storm drain. There is this painted turtle, and the painted turtle is named Lenny, and Lenny is a little shit, because he likes biting everything. You can see there's a flying fox in there as well. I have a flying fox and a bristlenose pleco. Here is Squiggy. Squiggy is a female Mississippi musk turtle that does not like being out of the water. And she is the most docile turtle I own. I'm gonna put you down. Okay, come here. See, you're already hissing at me. Already hissing at me, you little shit. This is... Yeah, you're already pissed off. I know you are. This is Lenny. He's a little shit. The reason I call him a little shit is he literally attacks everything. He attacks my hand when I put it in the tank to clean. He attacks all my other fish. So all the fish in here are just strictly algae eaters. Just try and keep some of the algae down. As you can see, there's algae growing on the glass. I have a common bristlenose plecostomus. Let's put you back in the water. And all these, now not to worry, all these turtles have a UVB and a heat lamp. I got it mostly for the painted turtle because Squiggy never gets out of the water. Now, why Lenny and Squiggy? Well, it's a reference to a show I literally have never heard of before. Because my parents are old. And they decided to name them... You stop attacking my hand. He's trying to attack my hand. Now, this is strictly just their grow up tank because I have I'll show you in a minute, I have another tank. As you can see, they just demolish everything that's in here. Yep. Of course. Anyway, that's why everything in my 75 gallon is literally weighted down with all kinds of rocks and everything. All the decorations in here are mostly just because the fish need a place to hide, because that one painted turtle Lenny likes murdering everything. Seriously, I put like a shark in here and he went after it. I put cichlids in here, he went after it. So he's going to be real fun taken care of in the long term. But I try and hand hold them as much as possible when I'm feeding them. Don't do nearly as much as I should, but I will definitely do more of it so they become more hand tame. And my plan is, because they like attacking all the fish, this reef tank, once everything gets put over to there, is going to become a planet freshwater aquarium. Now that may sound crazy, but I have a method to my madness. This is my spare tank. I don't want to have to buy another tank, like another 20 gallon or anything. And so my plan is, because Lenny attacks, there's the flying fox. Because Lenny attacks any fish really I put in there. I have decided that I'm going to move all of my smaller, non-aggressive fish into this 34 gallon system. I'm of course deep cleaning everything like that. I'm going to plan it up real nice with some driftwood pieces and everything that I have, some slate. And I'm going to make this a true planted community aquarium. And then I'm going to move the flying fox over, and I'm going to move some platies and dojo loaches and some bristlenose plecos and some red-eye tetras and some guppies probably, and some shrimp, and just move everything that doesn't get big and doesn't get aggressive enough to hold their own. This little guy with that little shit into here. Now that brings us to the next one. Say hi, Moby. Moby usually destroys everything. This is my brother's dog, Moby. He is in Australia. He is a... What are you again? You're a blue heeler, you're something. You're a blue heeler and... Border Collie? Yeah. Moby is a blue heeler Border Collie mix. And he is full of energy. He's being lazy right now. And he literally attacks constantly. And likes destroying things. The reason he is at this house in the first place is he burnt down my brother's house. And that's why he is responsible for him and my brother living here. Because he decided to set my brother's house on fire. How did he set his house on fire? Well, he knocked over a heat lamp in the garage, and the garage was attached, and set the house on fire. Dang you, Moby. Of course he did. That brings us into the living room now. That's where all the fish is, in this room right here. As you can see, open the door. Fish tanks. And my bed. And that plant, which is just a plant I've had for literal years. It belonged to my great-grandma. Great-grandma's not dead, she's still alive. But that was her plant. And she can't take care of it anymore. And there's Moby. There's Moby. Whatever. Here is the 75 gallon. I haven't done a video on 75 gallon in quite some time, even though I have some pretty new additions. This water lily plant is kind of new. That's kind of just an impulse buy. This is home to my only named fish. And my only named fish is this giant pleco. He's 14 inches long. He's a common plecostomus. He is named Root Beer, and I have had him in literally every single plant, every single tank, freshwater tank I have ever owned. He has been in it. Pretty much. From a little 10-gallon back in the day, all the way up to a 300-gallon tank, and now he's in the 75-gallon. He doesn't do much cleaning. He just kind of chills. I feed him nori pellets all the damn time. And here is Tiny. Tiny is a male red-eared slider. You can tell by his claws. He does not like being handled, but I can try to handle him. I have not handled him much at all. He has kind of just been here growing. This tank is at my parents' where I'm staying right now. Let's go see if we can't get a better look at him. He is pissed off. I'm putting you back. I'm putting you back, okay? Tiny does not like being handled. It's mostly, I blame myself for it. I never hand tamed him. He was a wild rescue. He was found in a trash can. I decided to care for him, and he is not happy about anything, but he gets really along well with all kinds of fish. You can see I have corridors catfish. I have 5 of them, 2 albino, 1 spotted, 1 green, and 1 panda. I've got miscellaneous platies and guppies, if I can see them. Just platies right now. You can't see them right now. There's the female beta that has been in this tank for years. There's also the red-tailed shark. These two, now the red-tailed shark wasn't just, red-tailed shark is just in here so I can have a bigger, more aggressive fish to grow up. There's also the red-eye tetra. Female beta has been in here for years. She wasn't intentional. There's some bristlenose plecos in here. She was never intentional. She was never supposed to be in here. But a friend threw it in here one day. And I didn't catch it. And for some reason, he never ate her. Even though he does eat guppies. But he's also really chill with most fish. And she is probably the primary reason I am setting up that 34-gallon as a plant tank. Because I know the little turtles are going to just tiny specials going to destroy her. But yeah, you're getting your own tank in due time. Trying to look. I know there's some guppies in this tank. I don't know where they're hiding. There's red-eye tetras. There's 2 red-eye tetras. They're from when this tank was full of tetras like 5 years ago, and they just survived. As you can see, there's some moving over there. Those are tinfoil barbs. I have 3 of them. 2 albino, 1 regular. They will be staying in here. I know they get probably too big for this tank, which is why I'm going to upgrade it. Of course, I'm going to upgrade because I'm going to have 3 turtles. Plan is hopefully to do 150, if not a 300-gallon, for these guys. And I will probably fill it with more somewhat aggressive species, tinfoil barbs, giant plecos, red-tailed shark, maybe some cichlids. I'm thinking New World cichlids, because I don't think Africans will be able to hold their own. There's also in this tank 2 dojo lochios as well as several dozen ram's horn snails. You can see one of the ram's horn snails over here. The ram's horn snails they just breed like crazy and they provide a good service, so I don't care if they're in the tank. Now you may be wondering, where does the turtle get out of the water at? There's no platform. Well, he has this turtle topper up here that he uses sometimes to bask, not always. But he uses it sometimes, and it's pretty reliable basking area. He's got UVB and heat, so that's fine by him. Back when I had a soft shell turtle, it used to use that area all the time, but it doesn't anymore. Now this area does not have a lot of space, this tank doesn't, and that has to do with the fact that it's a 75-gallon tall tank, so it is tall vertical, not wide, not that long. I do not like this tank. It, simply put, isn't the right dimensions. You shouldn't have a tank that's only a foot, or in this case 13 inches wide. It's a terrible idea. You'll see there's some more bristlenose in here. I have an albino bristlenose as well.